All righty. Good morning, everyone. Looks like we have a few people here. Simon, thanks for tuning in. If the audio's okay and the video's okay, please let me know in the live chat. Just give me a thumbs up and then we will get started here. But thank you, everyone, for tuning in so far. So I'm going to wait for just a few more people to jump on and then we will go ahead and get started here. So, Simon, if the audio's okay, can you give me a thumbs up, please, in the live chat? Or anyone that's on, can you give me a thumbs up? Testing, testing. All right. So we got a few thumbs up. So let me know in the live chat if audio is good, then I'll get started. So just say audio. Okay, sweet. Thank you, Simon. Thank you, Lauren. All righty, we'll go ahead and get started. So first thing I wanted to talk about was just what print on demand is and selling on the Etsy marketplace, just for new people that are getting started. It's such a cool place to get started selling online, especially if you're new to e-commerce and you're wanting to start a little side hustle. It's a great place to get started with no knowledge of business or of e-commerce. So print on demand briefly is just a great business model because you're able to connect with a print provider who will do all the printing and shipping for you, where it's completely hands off, minus the customer service side of things, and then the adding listings to your Etsy shop. But other than that, you do absolutely nothing, which is so nice and convenient. Um, Benefits of doing print on demand and selling on the Etsy marketplace is one, has very low financial risk. So everything's made to order. When a customer places an order, you then go and place that order. So you don't have to buy a bunch of inventory up front. And so it saves you a lot of money and there's very little risk with it, especially if you're starting out with very little money. Two, it's more eco-friendly. Rather than buying a ton of inventory and then having it just sit if it doesn't sell, you don't have that issue when doing print on demand because again, you're only selling things where you're only placing orders for products when a customer places an order. So it makes it really eco-friendly in that way. Excuse me. Three, it's extremely hands off. There's very little that you have to do, minus the customer service side of things. It's really convenient when you want to go and travel, or if you're busy with your family, you want to take trips. You're not tied down because you can really work from anywhere. You can work remotely, and then you are able to have very little play in the back end of things with the printing and the shipping. And then, lastly, I just want you to know if you're new to my channel and you're just tuning in, I teach you everything that you need to know to get started on doing print on demand and selling on the Etsy marketplace. I walk you through step by step on everything that you need to do. I have videos from the beginning to the end. It'll help you along the process of getting started. The whole reason behind this channel is just to kind of share everything that I've learned during my process to hopefully help you guys along your journey. Just one second, let me grab some water. All right. So, next thing I just wanted to mention, if you're not in the Facebook group yet, please go and join the Facebook group. It's called Print on Demand Warriors. The link is in the description. It's a great place to be a part of a community with like-minded people who are doing the same thing as you, and they'll answer questions for you. So not only you'll have me to ask questions and I'll respond to, you also have other sellers who are doing the exact same thing who will be answering questions for you. So make sure you jump in there. And as well, I give daily tips, or every few days I'll add a tip in there that will help you along with selling on the Etsy marketplace. Okay, so Print on Demand Wars, the link is in the description. And then lastly, if you're new here and you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe so that you'll know when I go live and when I post new content. I usually post once a week, usually on Thursdays or Fridays, and then I go live every other week. So make sure you subscribe so you'll know, so you'll be in the know there. All right, so I now want to talk about how possible is it to make decent money on Etsy? Is it still possible? Is it too saturated? It's very competitive on Etsy, as you may have noticed listing new designs, but it's still possible this day to make $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month, $3,000 a month, whatever it is, depending on how much work you're willing to put in. It's still extremely possible to make money on Etsy. Um, and specifically, just to make an extra $2,000 a month, you can do it very easily. But it will take work, it will take time, but it is possible. And I want to talk about the 5 best ways to get to that point of taking this from a part-time hustle to a full-time thing. And so I'm going to share the 5 tips that I believe will allow you to get to that point, and what I've learned from starting out just over a year now, and then to where I'm at today. Okay, so number one point that I have for you is consistency. This takes time. This will not happen within a week or 2 weeks. So if you're in need of cash now, don't expect to make a ton of money on Etsy from the get go. It will take time and it's going to be different for everyone. For me, I didn't start making good money until after 5 or 6 months, until I started seeing really consistently daily sales. Um, but if you are consistent, good things will come. And a quote that I love is, success doesn't come from what you do occasionally, it comes from what you do consistently. So if you're consistent, success will come, I promise you. Okay. Tip number 2 is having high quality designs and listings. You got to invest in high quality mockups and have really nice professional mockups in order to stand out on the Etsy marketplace. And so if you have invested in nice mockups and you have really good designs, it's the best way to take your business to the next level. And with your designing, you have to trend combine. You have to make a design that will set yourself apart from the other designs. You can't just go and mimic another shop doing what they're doing, because if they're already selling that, there's no way to compete with them, because they're going to have more reviews than you. They're going to have a higher sale count than you. You have to make something that's unique and will set yourself apart. And so I can't stress enough the importance of having really good mockups. If you have a really nice mockup that's better than other mockups out there, it will stand out in search results. Another thing with that, you got to make sure your mockup and your design stands out for your thumbnail. So make sure you zoom all the way in on that so it's very easy to see the design. Okay. Tip number 3. Oh, one last thing I want to mention with tip number 2 is, you need both good design and mockup to succeed. So if you have a really good design, but it's on a really poor mockup, like the Printful generated ones or the Printify generated ones, it's going to be hard to sell well. But you'll notice a significant difference when you put that really good design on a really good mockup. It's a double win, and you'll start to see an increase in sales. And also the other way, if you have a really good mockup but a really poor design that no one's searching for, there's no way you're going to be able to compete. So you got to have both high quality mockups and designs in order to compete, on the Etsy marketplace. Okay, tip number 3 is mastering SEO. You have to use proven keywords. You have to think like a buyer and just don't overcomplicate it. I know a lot of people stress about SEO. They think it's this some mastermind thing that you got to figure out, but it's really simple. It's just the matter of thinking like a buyer, using proven keywords that are already ranking on the first page, and then pulling those into your listing, match or into your title, matching it in your tags, and then you'll be good to go. Some ways I like to find proven keywords is to go search your specific niche. So if you're selling shirts in Halloween, let's say Halloween t-shirt, go and search Halloween t-shirt. Look at the listings that rank on the first page. And let me be clear here. You do not then copy paste someone else's title. You just look at keywords within their title, pull a keyword or two from a listing that's ranking well, add that to your title, and then construct your own title with several different listings that are ranking well on the first page. So never copy another title word for word, but you can pull keywords from it. And I hope that's clear to you. But you got to use proven keywords. So and just don't overcomplicate it, and you'll start to see your shop rank better. Your listings start to rank better, and you'll see your shop really start to take off. Um, Another thing I want to mention with this is, if you have a great design and a great mockup but poor SEO, you will never be found. So you got to be able to have really good SEO in order to show up in search results, in order to be found, in order to have sales in your shop. Okay. So that's tip number 3. Tip number 4 is having excellent customer service will lead to 5-star reviews. And you got to get reviews in order to build that foundation for your shop. And the best way to do that is simply just to ask your customer to leave a review. So if they've received their order, you followed the tracking, you saw that it was delivered, and then follow up with them, see if they're happy with it. If there's any issues, if there are, address them. If they love it and they respond to you and they love it, just say, as a small shop, it means so much to me if you leave a review, or however you want to word it. Just ask them. Don't be afraid to ask them. People are super supportive on the Etsy marketplace. They love to support small businesses, and it's a no-brainer to ask them. There's so many times, like I can't say how many times it's happened, but it's so many times where I didn't receive a review until I asked. And then once I asked for a review, they gladly left a review, and it was a really nice 5-star review. And they would add a picture to it, and it just increased the sales in my shop so quickly, because people had social proof. And when you have social proof in your shop where you're seeing other people are purchasing from your store, they're leaving these good reviews, especially with pictures, it will really help your shop take off. All right. Okay, and then with that also, one thing I like to do in my shop is I like to offer a giveaway. So if they add a picture to the review, then I'll enter them into a monthly giveaway where one winner will receive a free item from my shop of their choice. And that's how I get the pictures. But for just the review, I simply will just ask, and it usually works out well for me. Okay, and then the last tip I have for you, tip number 5, is when you find a winner, run with it. And this is specific to your shop. So if you have a design in your shop that is doing well, um, then you need to take that design in your shop and then create new variations of it. So if you have a design that's doing really well that you created, then go and put that on a sweatshirt, go and put that on a hoodie, go and put it on a mug if it works on a mug. Just spread it across all different products to increase your sales. And this is the best way you're able to double your sales. All right. And then with that, also, if you find a winner that you've created, so you have a design that you created that's doing well, it's gaining momentum, it's starting to have daily sales, and then you can take that design and then tweak it slightly. So add it to different niches, incorporate it within different niches, try and combine it with other things, change the color scheme of it, add graphics to it just to make it unique and to hopefully double down on it and to increase sales with it. So that's a great way to really grow your shop quickly. Okay, so just a quick rerun for those people that have just tuned in, and then I'm going to be answering questions. So if you have questions, please throw those in the live chat now, and I will be answering that. Okay, so tip number 1. So the best, what I was talking about was the best ways to get to the point where you can take this from a part-time job to a full-time thing where you're making really good money. All right. So just a quick recap. Number 1 is consistency. You got to be consistent. Number 2 is having high quality designs and listings. Number 3 is mastering SEO. So you got to use proven keywords, think like a buyer. Tip number 4 is having excellent customer service will lead to 5-star reviews. So you got to ask for reviews to get to that point. And then the final tip, tip number 5, is find a winner and run with it. When you find a winner and run with it with a design that you created specifically, double down on it, throw it on different products to really increase and double your sales. All right. So if you have questions, please throw those up in the live chat now. I will be answering those questions for you to make this time as beneficial as possible for you on this Saturday morning. All right. So we have a handful of people here. Simon, thanks for tuning in. Audio's good. Audio's good. Okay, Mary, thanks for being here. How many listings would you say you did to make 2000 a month? I mean, pre-tax net, not revenue. Pre-tax net, not revenue. So I think a magic number, Mary, is to get to at least 150 different listings. So 150 different designs. When you do that, you have a big net that's casted where you can be found in multiple different niches. But there's no absolutely magic number, but I think shooting for 100, 150 is a great start when starting out. And that's when I started to see significant results in my shop and started to see really consistent sales. Was around the 100 to 150, 200 mark. But obviously, the more listings you have, the more money you will make. It's just a numbers game on Etsy. If you can really focus on it and just crank out a ton of listings that are really high quality designs on really good mockups, and to set yourself apart with these designs that you've trend combined with, is a sure way to start increasing sales to make $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month, $3,000 a month profit, depending on how much work you're willing to put. And what's interesting too, Mary, is usually you'll have 150 designs or 200 designs, and only 2 or 3 or 5 of those designs will consistently sell for you and will make you most of your money. So, but it really is just a number game. Get your listings up. The more you have, the more opportunities you'll have to be found. But I'd shoot for the 150, 200 mark. Currently shipping just to UK where I'm based. Should I open my shipping to the US as it's the biggest marketplace? So, Simon, I if I were you, I would if you're able to. It's really easy and convenient to ship in the US just because there's the main providers are in the US, especially if you're using Printful, also with Printify. But it's a great marketplace in the US, and it would be very smart to branch out and ship US. So that's my suggestion, but also with the UK, there's a lot of potential. All right. Customer service. Do you send a thank you to every customer? How do you have some automated solution? Great question. So you can automate a message. So when someone places an order, you can easily automate a message that will get sent to the new buyer. And the way that you do this is you go to your Etsy shop manager dashboard, click on settings, info, and appearances, scroll down and into your messages to message to buyers. Or if you want it more customized, just personally message them yourself with a saved snippet. So you can have an automatic message that will get sent to them after purchasing, or you can just create a saved snippet in your messages and then automatically and then send it yourself manually. And it takes 1 to 2 seconds once you have it saved. All I do is I have my saved snippet and then I have like hi, then insert name, then just plug in their name for whoever ordered. That's the way I do it, but you can have it automatic. Obviously, the more you sell and as your sales increase, it'll be really time consuming to be messaging every single person. So if you'd prefer to not spend your time doing that, you can do it the other way where it's automatic. But I personally like just the automatic message or the personal manual message that I send because people appreciate it. Puts human to human contact and they feel like they really are supporting a small business. But you can make it automatic if you like. All right. Once I found trend products, how can I design different or unique products? How much should it be different from founded items? Can you give me some explanation? Awesome question. So, you never want to copy another design exactly as I mentioned in the beginning. If it's the exact same thing, you won't set yourself apart. So, just an example I like to do if you're doing how, let's say Halloween, if you're designing for Halloween, which you should be 100% right now. If you're not designing for Halloween, I suggest starting today as we're coming upon that season. But for example, like Halloween, take Halloween, which is a massive niche on the Etsy marketplace, and then combine it with specific hobbies or niches like um, soccer or football or fishing or hiking or whatever it is, for dads, for moms, for uncles. Just take two separate niches, combine them into one, two popular niches, and then combine it into one to create a really unique design. And then also with that is just to take trending color palettes, to take trending fonts, and then incorporate that also within a design that is already being trend combined with other niches. So I hope that helps answer your question. But yeah, just try to think creatively as possible, be as unique as possible to make a design that's really unique and sets yourself apart. All right. Next question, Jeremy. I'm in Australia and I'm trying to target US buyers. A shopper in the US recently contacted me with the concerns about shipping. Am I at an immediate disadvantage with people being out of my location? So it depends on how you have your shop built out, Jeremy. If I'm understanding your question right, just make sure you have your shipping profiles correctly built out so that your customers are paying for shipping, and if they really want the item, they'll pay for shipping so that you're not out any money. But I don't think you're at a disadvantage in any way if you're selling to people outside your location because with print on demand, if you have an order come from the US and you're located in Australia, that item will be fulfilled and shipped outside of US, not Australia. So it depends on the location of the buyer is where Printful will determine where they fulfill that item. So you're not in any way at a disadvantage. So I would not be too concerned about that. If I'm not understanding your question, please clarify for me. Okay, Henrietta, you are so right. I was afraid to ask a customer for a review because his order was messed up twice. After asking, he gave me a 5-star review and an email of thanks. Awesome, Henrietta. Nice job to turn a negative review around to a positive review. Um, and some of those times are the best ways to get a really good review. We had one recently where we had a customer receive an item. The color of the shirt wasn't the exact color that she was hoping for. It was kind of a different shade of color than she was hoping. And we were able to work through the process with her. She left a 2-star review on our shop, and anything under 5 stars, I get in a panic just because they have such a negative impact on your shop. But we just messaged her immediately, let her know, hey, we want to make things right. Give us the opportunity to make things right. And she responded after a few days, and we were able to sort through the problem, get her the right colored shirt that she was really hoping for. And then in return, she left a really nice review and was really happy and was really grateful for our customer service. So customer service is so critical on any e-commerce platform, selling on Etsy, if you're doing your own Shopify store or whatever it is, customer service is huge to really build a good base for your shop. But don't be afraid to ask. I know when I started out, I would search is it, oh, how should you get reviews, or how to encourage your customers to get or to leave reviews or whatever it was. Um, and a lot of people would say, don't ask them to leave a review. It's just not professional. But I've seen, after doing it the way that I've been doing it, where I ask for reviews, I've seen so much success with it. And our reviews have increased significantly because we were asking, because some people just don't even think to ask. And if you ask them to do it to support your small business, they're more than willing to do it. So don't ever be afraid to ask them to leave a review. And usually I will only ask them to leave a review if, after the follow-up, if they've liked their product and they say yes, they love it, then that's when I'll ask them to leave a review. If they don't respond, I won't bother to ask them to leave a review. But yeah, don't be afraid. Okay, awesome. The 150 answer. Thank you, Brennan. No problem. So, Mary, I also remember, I believe it was you last stream, you asked us to do a challenge, which is in the works. Don't think or worry that I forgot about that. The challenge is in the works. So, if none of you are familiar, we plan on doing a challenge in our Facebook group where I'll post a challenge for the week or for the day to hopefully help motivate you to reach a certain mark, to help increase your listing count and to increase your sales. So, Mary, that's still in the works. Don't worry. Okay. Would you recommend buying SVG Graphics, and can good SEO still be saturated? By the way, thanks for your feedback. So awesome question. Few thoughts I have on purchasing SVG graphics. One is they're going to be saturated. If you're buying them off of Etsy and you're purchasing SVG graphics, they're going to be saturated because a lot of people will be purchasing them, especially if it's an SVG graphic that has the bestseller badge. It means everyone's purchasing that graphic. Two, there's a lot of SVG shops that will rip off their sellers, or they'll rip off other shops that have designed this graphic, and then they rip it off, they sell it in their shop for profit. And so you could then get in trouble with these other shop owners who are selling them on a t-shirt or whatever, and get in trouble with them and get a infringement complaint. So you got to be careful that way. Um, so my recommendation for you is, if you can, I would avoid them just to play it 100% safe. But if you want to use them, make them unique by adding to them. So adding upon them by adding text to it, adding more graphics to it, make it really unique. So it's not just that simple SVG that you purchase that anyone can purchase. And then, is good SEO still be saturated? Yes, there are keywords that are going to be more saturated than others. That's why it's important to use long tail keywords. So instead of just using like cute shirt, do like cute shirt for grandmothers, or that was a poor example, but something like that where it's a more targeted keyword rather than just a general broad keyword like a cute shirt. Okay, hope that answered your question. Hey, Brennan, with fall heading our way quickly, what colors of shirts have you had the most success selling? What color do you choose for your mock-up? Great question. So, fall colors, your whites, your blacks, your athletic heathers will always sell consistently throughout the entire year. Other popular colors are your like your autumn or your oranges. And then for other colors, we didn't have a ton of success, but you can do like mauve. Mauve sells fairly well. And then like off-white sell well. Sand is a really popular color, but it is very hard to find and it sells out really quickly. So it can create a lot of headaches for you. Um, but I really, just the most common colors, your whites, blacks, your athletic heathers, your creamish colors, and your autumn colors would probably be your best bet. But yeah, Halloween, Thanksgiving, fall, Christmas, quarter four is the best time to make the most money on Etsy and on any marketplace because everyone's shopping online. And so don't skip a beat when you're starting with these or designing for these holidays, because there's so much opportunity. That was by far our best months last year. So I'm hoping for the same this year. So just make sure you're on it and you really take advantage of these months. So if you have no Halloween listings right now or fall listings, you need to get those up this coming week right now. I always try to get them up within 3 to 4 months. Listings will expire after 4 months, so I will gauge it around that time frame. But yeah, now is the time to get those up. And if you haven't got them up, don't give up. Be like, "Oh, it's too late. I missed my chance." It's not too late. It's just you want to get an you want to be ahead of the game because you want to start getting momentum on these listings so that you can possibly get some bestseller badges so that you can have a lot of sales and reviews previous to the actual holiday, prior to the holiday. Because you're going to have deadlines with this. So you want to make sure that you have everything ready to go so that you can get them all out before the deadlines where you have to cut it off. All right. So if you're finding value in this video, please give it a thumbs up, and we'll continue to ask and answer questions. Hi, Brandon. Do you suggest having different categories like bridal, outdoor cats, Christmas, etc., for examples? Okay. So yeah, 100% do a general store. If you do a general store, you will see your sales start to take off. I started out doing um, a really niche specific store is mostly like positive designs. But when I went general and had a general store is when we started to see a lot of success because you're able to hit every holiday that comes through. You're able to have a lot of listings that will hit a lot of different niches to spread yourself apart. So 100% I would do general store unless you have like a really unique niche that you're in and you have like really unique like a creative artistic design that you're doing, then I do more niche. But if you're just like someone new to all of this, new to designing, new to selling online, general store I personally think is the way to go. And that being said, there's shops that have really niche specific that do well, but for me, I've had the most success once I've gone general. All right, what else do we got here? Okay. Sorry, one second. I lost my spot. I'm trying to find where I was. Okay, next. Do you think your views orders is based on the time you upload your product? Do you think your views orders is based on the time you upload your product? I don't know if I 100% understand your question, Henrietta, but if I'll answer it the way that I think I understand it. Um, So your views and orders is going to be based on, I personally believe, how many listings you have and then how active you are on your shop. So the more active you are on Etsy, I think they reward you for that. So as you're quickly responding to customers, as you're adding listings daily, as your listings are performing well and selling, they're going to reward you. If you have a few listings that are performing really well, then they're going to start promoting other listings and rank them better because when you make money, Etsy makes money, and that's the whole goal. So, um, yeah, the more active you are, the more listings you have, the more time you spend, I believe the more success you'll have. So, if that answer your question, Henrietta, please clarify for me. On your shop dashboard, there are views and visits. What's the difference between these two? Great question. So your views is anytime a customer sees your listing in search results. So if they're just scrolling through the first few pages of search results after searching a specific keyword and they see your listing without like just glancing over it, maybe they stop on it for a second, glance over it, and then they continue on. That's a view. A visit is when they actually come to your shop and look and browse through your shop. I'm using decent mockups and sometimes with different color backgrounds to stand out in the thumbnails. When I zoom in, you really can't see the background. Do you use a flat lay for the thumbnail? So I use some flat lays and some mock and then model mockups, but for the thumbnail, um, it's kinda for the thumbnail itself, I wouldn't worry too much about what you see on the background, because your main focus for that is just the design. People will click for the design, not the cute look of the like, the extra props in the mock-up. So I'd focus more on the design, having a really good design that stands out and that's very readable, so if they can easily read it. If you have a mock-up that's zoomed all the way, out so you can barely read it, it's really easy just to scroll past it and not even see it. So I'd focus more on that than worrying about being able to show everything that's in the mock-up. But I do use model mockups and flat lays. I kind of intermix them within my listing. All right, one second here. Okay. As new sellers with low social proof, when you're searching for a niche low, much competition is too much to gain visibility in. As a new seller with low, so yeah, if you're new to the game, it's just gonna be a matter of time where you gotta just put in the dirty work and, slowly gain momentum, getting a sale like every few days, every few weeks. The best way to kickstart everything is to have friends and family purchase from your store outside of your home on a different IP address. So have, like friends across the states, wherever you are, have them purchase from you. And that is your best way to slowly gain momentum on your listings and then to have really good reviews. Make sure you have them leave reviews with pictures. That'll help kickstart everything. But for being able to compete, it's going to be hard at first and to be visible in, but that's why you just got to have a really good design that stands out and a really good mock-up that stands out. I've seen shops with just 50 to 100 sales that find a winner that does really well for them. So they created something on a whim that does really well for them. It's a really trendy design that people are searching for, and then that one design will kickstart their store for them to build a good foundation. But it's just keep at it, just keep adding designs, design every day, create new listings every single day, and you'll slowly gain momentum to where you kind of have this community base, this client base where you have, or this customer base where people return to your shop. They then share and refer your shop to other friends and family, and you'll see your store slowly take off. All righty. So I'm going to answer a few more questions and I will be getting off here. Um, Have you had issues with Printful and shipping times? I haven't in the past 6 months or so. It's been really good. They've been really quick and efficient. But last fall and last Christmas time during like prime COVID time, like pandemic time, that is when there was a lot of issues with stock issues, with shipping times. The whole world was upside down. So then we had a lot of issues. Right now, though, recently I haven't had any issues. I'd be curious if you guys have been having issues. And then if you do, you just got to make sure you list in your description and in your listing photos, let your customers know your shipping and processing times. And if it changes on Etsy, just adjust it accordingly so that they really know how long it's going to take till they receive their item. And don't, just don't. It's important to make sure your customers know exactly when they'll receive their item, and don't over. I think the best thing is to under promise and over deliver. That's kind of the rule of thumb I've played is, so if shipping times are or processing times are 2 to 5 days, I'll still say my processing times are 2 to 9 days, shipping's 3 to 5 days, just to under promise and then over deliver. So if they do receive their item really quick, then they're going to be happy. All right. Okay, I'm going to answer one more question here. All right. Okay, so the last question is gonna. So she asked, "Have you made any videos on how to design on Over?" I have one or two videos talking about designing on Over. If you haven't seen that, make sure you go and watch it. It is just search Over, or I can also add it in the comment section. But if you want to ask me this question in the comment section, I'll be sure to send you that link. But just go to my channel and you'll see it. But thank you everyone for tuning in today. It's been fun to be able to chat with you and kind of hopefully help answer some of your questions. If I didn't answer your question, I know there's a handful more of questions here that I didn't get to. Please comment in the comment section of this video after this live stream, and I'll be sure to get to your questions and answer any question that's on my channel. Also, you can ask it in the Facebook group Print on Demand Warriors. The link is in the description. I will be sure to answer that there as well, and if I don't answer it, other members in that community will be able to answer it. But if you found value in this live stream, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe so you can know when I go live and when I post new content. But thank you everyone for tuning in. We hope you have a great weekend. Enjoy yourself, and make sure you jump on the fall Halloween niches and the designs, as getting those listings up for fall and Halloween, because now's the time to start really honing in on that so that you can be ready for quarter 4, which is the best time to sell online. But stay safe, stay healthy, be kind, be happy, and have a wonderful day. Thank you guys so much. Take care.